Most people wait. They wait to be given permission for an ideal moment to emerge or for a savior to come free them. But here's the truth. Being broke is temporary. Being exhausted is fleeting. Being alone is your superpower. There's something that deeply captivates me, the number 0. Where some see only emptiness, I see unsuspected power, because from 0, the only possible direction is up. Allow me to share an intimate fragment of my story. A few years ago, my bank account showed a perfect 0. 0 opportunities, 0 contacts, 0 idea of what to do next. I slept on an old couch in a small apartment, surviving on sandwiches that cost less than $1. My friends thought I was crazy for leaving a stable job. My family watched my fall with concern. But that's exactly what 0 taught me. It strips away your illusions. At 0, clarity emerges. With nothing, there's no easy solution, no money to mask problems, no network to open doors. What you have left, your mind, your time, and your hands. And that, my friend, is where true power is born. When you have nothing to lose, everything becomes possible to gain. While most people are prisoners of their possessions, paralyzed by the fear of losing what they have, those who have nothing are free. Free to try, free to fail, free to start over. Because nobody expects anything from you. Every bit of progress becomes a victory. Remember, every iconic company, every fortune, every exceptional success started at 0. That famous restaurant chain, one person in a modest kitchen. That distribution empire, a small shop in an ordinary town. That innovative tech company, a simple garage. And you know why being broke can become your greatest weapon? Because you can't buy solutions, you have to invent them. You can't afford shortcuts, you have to create your own path. Being broke forces you to use your most powerful tool, your creativity. I remember when I couldn't even afford to print business cards, so I learned to make such a strong first impression that my name stayed engraved in people's minds. I had no advertising budget, so I told stories so compelling that people talked about them on their own. No office. Every cafe became my headquarters, every public library my universe. That's the lesson of 0, resourcefulness. And believe me, resourcefulness is worth far more than resources, because resources without resourcefulness end up being lost, but resourcefulness always finds a way to create what's missing. Here's a truth many ignore. Starting from 0 is an advantage, because 0 teaches you what comfort can never teach you. It forces you to innovate. It forges a strength that money can't buy. Every dollar you earn teaches you a valuable lesson. Every connection you make reveals a facet of human nature, and every solution you invent becomes a living demonstration of your capacity for innovation. Starting from 0, you're not just building a business or a career, you're building yourself. And that's the real power of the starting point. It's not only what you create, but especially the person you become in creating it. So the next time you face 0, don't let it bring you down. Be excited, because 0 is not an end, it's a springboard. It's not your adversary, but your best teacher. It's not a curse, it's an opportunity. Remember, every great story begins at point 0, and starting now, you're the one holding the pen. You are the author of your next chapter. Let me now tell you about the most dangerous phrase in the English language. I'll start when. I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I have more time. I'll start when the kids are grown. I'll start when the market improves. You know what that really means? It means never. One day at a seminar, a young man told me, "I have a great business idea. I'm just waiting for the right moment to launch." I asked him how long he'd been waiting. He answered, 5 years. 5 years of waiting. 5 years watching others build their dreams while his collected dust. 5 years of excuses. Here's what many people don't know about timing. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Life never sends you a golden invitation saying, "It's now." The perfect moment is a mirage, a myth that prevents ordinary people from becoming extraordinary. Here's a profound truth. Time will pass anyway.
The hourglass flows whether you act or not. Whether you chase your dreams or stay dreaming, the calendar pages will turn. While you wait for all the lights to turn green, others are charging forward one intersection at a time. The gift of desperation. Let's now talk about a concept as feared as powerful: desperation. Most people flee desperation as if it were a poison, but desperation is sometimes a gift. It's life's way of saying, enough waiting. Desperation is the urgency to act. I know a man who, in his 40s, lost everything: his job, his savings, his confidence. He was broken, desperate, but instead of collapsing, he rose. He had no funds to buy inventory, so he launched a service without stock. He couldn't rent an office, so he became mobile, bringing his offering directly to his clients. That desperation didn't destroy him, it propelled him. That's the true power of desperation. It pushes you to innovate. When you're desperate enough, you no longer wait for an imaginary green light. You create your own voice. You transform that vague someday into a powerful today. Here's a truth that changed my life. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same goes for starting your project, writing that book, or transforming your existence. Every day of waiting is a lost day, a day when someone else improves, progresses, gets closer to their dreams. Every day of waiting is a day you'll never get back. So tell me, what are you really waiting for? Are you hoping the perfect moment will arrive? Let me tell you something essential. That perfect moment is now, here, at this minute, at this second. The time of waiting is over. The time of action has arrived. Because if not now, then when? Life rewards action, not intentions. It celebrates progress, not perfection. And above all, it gives nothing to those who simply wait. Your moment isn't on its way. It's already here. The only real question is, what are you going to do with it?
The power of solitude. You know what most people fear even more than failure? Being alone. They stay in toxic relationships, keep friendships that hold them back, occupy jobs they hate, all to avoid loneliness. But let me reveal a powerful truth to you. Sometimes, being alone is exactly what you need. I remember a night when I walked alone in my garden. No phone, no conversation, no distraction, just me and my thoughts. And in that silence, I heard something precious. My own voice. Not my parents' voice dictating what I should do, not my friend's voice projecting their expectations, not society's voice imposing what I should become. Just me, my voice crystal clear, telling me what I needed to accomplish. Solitude is not a punishment, it's preparation. Think of a tree growing in the heart of a forest. It's protected by others, but that protection can weaken it. Now, imagine a tree alone on a hill, beaten by the wind, whipped by the rain, burned by the sun. Observe the power it develops, the deep roots it anchors. That's you, standing alone, forging a strength that no comfort could ever give you. Let's talk now about decision-making. When you're alone, something magnificent happens. You learn to trust yourself. Surrounded by others, it's easy to rely on their opinions, their advice. But in solitude, you sharpen your judgment, you cultivate your wisdom, you follow your instincts. I know a woman who launched her business alone. Everyone told her she needed a partner, an investor, an advisor. She said no. She chose the solitary path. Was it harder? Obviously. Did she make mistakes? Of course. But every mistake taught her, every choice strengthened her, every obstacle built her character. What many don't realize is that solitude doesn't mean isolation, it means independence. It's not the absence of company, it's the birth of leadership. Because all true leadership begins with the ability to lead yourself. When you're alone, you can't blame anyone else for your failures. But you also don't have to share the glory of your victories. You don't wait for motivation from others. You light your own fire. You fuel your own energy. You find your own why every morning. Think about it. Every genius inventor, every revolutionary thinker, every visionary leader has at some point had to walk alone, believe in a vision nobody understood, trust an instinct everyone questioned. That's the blessing of solitude. It forces you to become complete, to fill your gaps, to solve your problems, to answer your own questions. And here's the most beautiful paradox. Once you're strong alone, you become even more exceptional with others, because you come from a place of power, not dependence. You choose, you don't submit. Your companions are not your saviors. Rather than seeking who will come save you, remember, being alone doesn't mean being isolated. Being alone is being uninfluenced, undiluted, unborrowed, pure. So the next time you find yourself alone, don't flee. Don't fill that void with noise or the presence of others. Embrace it, because in that solitude, you're not simply spending time with yourself, you're shaping yourself. And that version of you, forged in silence, no one can ever take away from you. The 6 true assets. Let me tell you the story of 2 men I knew. The first lived in a mansion, owned 3 cars, and had an impressive bank account. The second lived in a modest house, took the bus, and lived paycheck to paycheck. But what struck me was that the second man was in reality richer than the first. Why? Because he understood a profound truth. True wealth isn't measured by the amount on a bank statement. It's measured by what you carry in your mind, in your heart, and in your character. Here are the 6 assets that each of us possesses, no matter where we live, whether in a luxury penthouse or a modest basement. Time. You have 24 hours per day, the same 24 hours as every millionaire or billionaire, no more, no less. Energy. The physical and mental strength to act. Some days it abounds, others it wavers, but it's there. Creativity. That unique capacity to solve problems, to detect opportunities where others see barriers, to create something from nothing. Relationships. Not just your loved ones. Every person you encounter can become a gateway to an opportunity. The mind. Your ability to learn, to evolve, to innovate. The mind is like a field. What you sow in it, you will harvest. Integrity. Your word, your honor, your reputation. Perhaps your most precious resource, because once lost, no amount of money can buy it back. And what many don't realize about these riches is that they're not fixed. They can be cultivated, invested, multiplied, but they can also be wasted, scattered, lost. So, how do you transform time into value? Most people consume their time. Successful people invest it. Think about it. When you watch the clock at work waiting for the day to end, you're wasting your time. But when you learn a skill, build connections, solve a problem, you're investing. I know a young man who worked as a janitor. Every day while he cleaned offices, he listened to educational recordings. While others complained, he learned. Today, he owns a thriving consulting business. He didn't have more time than others. He simply understood how to transform it into wealth. Here's a powerful truth about money. It's not money that's at the root of wealth, but the creation of value. The more value you create for others, the more abundance will flow towards you. It's like a farmer. He plants seeds. He doesn't harvest immediately, but he understands the seasons of wealth. He knows the harvest will come sooner or later. They often say, the poor work for money, the rich make money work for them. But before money can work for you, you must first work on yourself. Most people are so absorbed in making a living, they forget to design a life. They're focused on the next paycheck, and in doing so, they miss the opportunity to build true wealth. You want to know the fastest way to become rich? Solve big problems. The bigger the problems you tackle, the more value you bring, and the more wealth flows towards you. Remember, your bank account balance reflects the value you've created for others. You want a fuller account? Create more value. solve more problems, serve more people. That's the real secret of wealth. It's not what you receive, but what you give. Not what you possess, but what you become.
Action creates energy. And here's a paradox many never understand. It's not energy that creates action. It's action that creates energy. You're waiting to feel full of energy to transform your life? That energy will never come from waiting. It's born when you break the inertia of your old patterns. Let me explain what's happening in your body right now. You might feel tired, drained, unmotivated. Your brain whispers to you, rest first, change later. But that's just a conservation mechanism. Your body wants to preserve energy, maintain the status quo, and stay in the comfort of familiar routines because those cost less than the unknown. But here's what's fascinating about human biology. Your body has unexplored energy reserves. Researchers studying the phenomenon of the second wind discovered that when an athlete surpasses their perceived limit, their body doesn't exhaust itself, it produces more energy. The mitochondria, those small powerhouses at the heart of your cells, become more efficient, generating more ATP, the source of cellular energy. And this principle isn't limited to physical effort. It also applies to your mental and emotional energy. When you break through the wall of fatigue, when you surpass those old beliefs telling you to stay small and cautious, you activate dormant energy systems. Your cells awaken. Literally, you begin to produce more energy because you dare to demand more from your life. Remember a time when you were too tired to do something, but you did it anyway? A workout? A project? Helping a friend? What happened next? After the initial resistance, new energy appeared. It wasn't just a psychological boost. You generated real energy through your action. When you act despite fatigue, you send a clear message to your body. This is essential to my survival. And it responds. It releases norepinephrine, dopamine, substances that boost your motivation, your focus. Your cells produce more mitochondria. It's not energy that must precede action. It's action that triggers energy. Waiting for the perfect moment when you'll finally feel ready is a biological impossibility. Energy doesn't come from waiting. It comes from your decision. It comes from action. The energy you're waiting for is actually waiting for your decision. The formula for success. And here's a lesson that took me years to understand. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act, even imperfectly, even tired, even alone. Success isn't a spectacular leap, but 1,000 small steps repeated with consistency. Most people wait for the big moment, the perfect opportunity, the providential stroke of luck. But let me reveal what I call the simple formula for success. What you do every day matters far more than what you do occasionally. Imagine two people. The first does an intense 5-hour workout on January 1st, then nothing for 6 months. The second simply walks 15 minutes every day. In your opinion, which one will be in better shape in June? There's not even a debate. Success works the same way. It's not intensity that counts, it's consistency. Here are some daily disciplines that literally transformed my life. Wake up early, not occasionally, every day, even on weekends, even when you don't feel like it. The first hours of the morning have something magical about them. While the world sleeps, you're building your future. Read 10 pages a day. Not an entire book once a month, but 10 pages every day. That's 3,650 pages a year. Imagine the impact if you read that much about your field, your craft, your dreams. You'd become unstoppable. Write down your goals every morning. Not once a year, not even once a month, every morning. Goals aren't just destinations, they're compasses that show you the direction to take today. Let's talk now about a powerful principle, the compound effect. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in one day and underestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year.
Small actions repeated every day lead to extraordinary results. Think about it. If you improve just a little bit every day, after 1 year, you won't simply be 365 times better, but 37 times better. That's the power of daily growth. But beware, every day of waiting is a lost day. While you wait, someone else is progressing, getting stronger, getting closer to their dreams. And you, every day of waiting is a day you'll never get back. So tell me, what are you waiting for? What perfect moment are you hoping will appear? Because I'm going to tell you a truth. That perfect moment is now. Yes, now, at this minute, at this second. The time of waiting is over. The time of action has arrived. Because if not now, then when? Life rewards action, not intention. It rewards progress, not perfection. And above all, it never rewards waiting. That moment you're waiting for, it's not on its way. It's already here. The real question is, what are you going to do with it? Your legacy starts now. Let's talk now about a powerful word, legacy. Many think that legacy is what you leave behind, after, but that's not true. Your legacy isn't what you leave, it's what you're building now. Every action, every choice, every moment lived with intention is one more brick in the foundation of what you leave to the world. I knew a man who always said, one day I'll launch my business, one day I'll write my book, one day I'll make a difference. You know what happened? That one day never came, because one day is not a day of the week. It doesn't exist on any calendar. Understand this. The future you imagine is built by the actions you take today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. You want to know what the most powerful moment of your life is? It's this one, here, now, because it's the only instant over which you have total control. It's the moment when everything can change. The challenge is simple, but not easy. Act. Not after this speech, not after lunch, not when you feel ready. You want to launch a business? Write your first plan today. You want to get in shape? Do your first push-up today. You dream of writing a book? Write your first word today. You want to change your life? Take that first step today. Because here's the truth about change. It happens in an instant. The space between what you were and what you're becoming is minuscule. One decision, one action, one step. And remember, in 20 years, you won't regret the failures. You'll regret the opportunities you didn't seize, the dreams you didn't dare to live. So here's my ultimate call to you. Don't just applaud. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't plan. Act. Make that call. Write that plan. Take that first step. Because your life, your real life, the one you imagine in your dreams, is waiting for you on the other side of action. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your life. What are you going to do with it?